Okay, hello guys. I think you can hear me, right? Sound is okay? I think this is the first time we are doing on YouTube, right? It's much easier to also for me to do this, and I think for everyone to join. Do you please let me know that it's a good idea to do it on YouTube, or we can go back to our old system, Zoom? Okay. So YouTube is better, definitely. Yeah, it's and we don't have to the people who always miss out or people from Australia who cannot join. I think the YouTube is really a good idea. They can watch this over again and again, and it's fun. We wait for a few more people. I think total 18 people have already joined. So so if by looking the name looks like we have people from India, people from China. Um, yeah, I cannot say from where the electro trap is. Yeah, definitely. I'll try to speak more slowly. Slowly, you means like slow or more a little less in volume. Okay, so we have people from US, from UK. So what more countries we have, guys? So we already have India, China, US, UK. Anyone from out of these four countries? No. So four countries so far. Okay. Vietnam. Okay, 25 people. Paul from US. Okay. So let me find. Guys, can you still see me? Because I'm trying to also adjust with this new environment. And I switched the tab to now the AMA February, the list which I got from Yanina about all of your questions. And I say, oh, so I have more people who ask questions currently, more than 50 plus questions I see here. And Yanina have already taken down question, more than one question. So if you have asked more than one question, and if you don't get the answer, I'm not someone to be contacted. You have to reach out to Yanina because she kept only one question each individual so that we all can have enough time so that we can go to everyone concerns. But mostly today we're gonna talk about, oh wow, so certainly we have a lot of more people from Norway, more people from India, people from Spain. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's start. So today, as you know, we are going to talk about three main topics. Definitely, I will be open to answer if you have questions out of these three topics because I believe that currently at Cashaa, we are at a very young stage community, and probably also the customers, they are confused about what are the products, because some of the product which we have launched is so much radical, way ahead of the time, that way ahead of the regulation, that some people always get confused with the product which we are launching. Also, given that Cashaa is such a small company and some of the product which we are launching is going against some of the big high street banks, so it's very normal to have a confusion. And one of the purpose of these AMA so that we can clear that is exactly what we are doing, what the website says is exactly what we are doing, what is our vision, what we are delivering on our mission, where we are. So I think these are the very good questions we have to talk. And as I keep saying that I think product is very important. If we have a right product for the right market, the success will follow up. And nothing else can beat this model. To be a Google, to be a Microsoft, to be Uber or Airbnb or any successful project, it's very important that we have a solid product, but not only a solid product which market requires. Because end of the day, we are not building it for us. We are not building it for a bunch of people, but we are building it for a wider audience, and that's very important. The product needs to match with the market requirement. What I do to start with, because today we have three main topics. One of the topic is the broker account, which we're going to talk about. We will then, after the broker account, we switch a little back to a personal account, where we have added a small feature of a euro wallet. So we already had the GBP, INR, and now the third currency which came in the personal account is the euro. And third, we will talk very detailed about how Cashaa is delivering what has been not delivered by any crypto project in India, allowing Cashaa customer to buy Bitcoin directly through the banking channel. What are the challenges are coming? What the fee structure looks like? What are the procedures? We're going to go in detail about all these topics, how you can access, what are the terms and conditions. We try to touch as many as topic as possible. So we already have 32 people live here. Without losing time, let's start with the broker account. Let me see if, like Zoom, I can share my screen here. Does anyone know that I can do a screen share? No. What's this button? So sorry guys, I cannot do the screen share. I always like things more visual. For me, it's because it works for me better. So I wanted to show you the Excel sheet so you can see all the questions, and we can go through one by one all the questions. I also plan to do a little demo of the broker wallet, but looks like YouTube is not a very much designed to do that. So I try to keep it as clear as by talking about the product, and definitely you can log in and you can see more details about this. So first, let's talk about the broker account. So what is the broker account? Why we have to launch it? So main reason to launch the broker account, there was two main purposes. First, since we have been live, more than hundreds of companies, crypto companies, who have applied for the account. And in 80% cases, we have seen that the projects are good, team is doing good, but still it's very difficult to onboard some of these businesses. May have more people watching, but just not signaling. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to get diverted. The chats are really interesting. But sorry, I try to keep my focus, not get deviated with this new platform. I'm also excited about YouTube. So I was talking about the broker account. So why we have launched a broker account, and what was the purpose to add this account? It was done because of two reasons. One, in last 6 months of our operations, I'm not say like more than hundreds of companies who have applied for the account. Definitely our onboarding rate been very, very less. So like more than 80% companies have been rejected. And they have not been rejected primarily just because they were a scam project, or they were having not a very good project which can be onboarded. But as a crypto friendly, one of the reason was that most of these founders and these new company, they startups, they lack a lot of knowledge when it comes to regulation. They lack a lot of knowledge when it comes to money laundering. They lack a lot of knowledge when it comes to some of the global problem which can arise by linking these projects into the existing financial global system. And that's one of the main reasons why always high street banks have been rejecting crypto business. So this is one of the very big reason that why businesses have been rejected by the big banks. Now, because we want to build something which is more crypto friendly, we want to build an ecosystem of all these crypto companies where more and more entrepreneurs, more and more innovators can come and build something on this new technology which we call blockchain, Bitcoin, and deliver something which is more decentralized. And because of this reason, most of these founders were not able to onboard because of lack of these knowledge. That's one of the primary reasons. Now, secondary, what happened in Europe on 10th of January 2020, AMLD5, the full form is anti-money laundering directive, fifth, have been made mandatory for all the crypto companies who are operating in Europe and in UK. Now, the result of this, what happens? It does makes the life of all those entrepreneurs even more difficult, because in a lack of regulation, people can still decide what they want to do and what they don't want to do. They can take care, they cannot take care. It's still up to them. But once you have some kind of enforcement done, you have to take care of these things, otherwise you can get into the bigger trouble. It's not only the trouble of getting the shutdown, but it can end up into a criminal charges against these founders. You can easily go to the jail, and it can end up pretty bad if you don't understand some of these the seriousness of some of these regulations. There is a purpose why the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the Terrorist Financing Act, they has been imposed on the financial system. And irrespective, we are trying to bank a crypto company, we are trying to bank a gambling company or a gaming, whatever, it need to be for only for this purpose and should not encourage any other behavior. And that's where the broker account came into the picture, so that it can give quick relief to many of these founders who still have, let's say, a small project with employees of 2 to 5 to 10, want to have some kind of banking solution so that they can receive payments from their customer, they can build their prototype, they can pay their employees, they can, if they have done an ICO, IEO, or STO, they can convert their raise funds into a fiat. They can do vice versa. All of these things they can pay their vendors. All of this they can do in GBP and Euro without breaking some of these very serious regulation, which is now enforced from 10th of January. So this is one of the main reasons why we have launched it. Definitely, we were planning about this from weeks way in advance before it get enforced. And on 20th or 22nd of January, we finally launched this product. Where we are on this project, we already received 3 applications, and we are using these 3 companies to provide these accounts from different sites and see what are the challenges they are facing by using it, so that we can smooth this product more and more before we go into the mode where we are heavily advertising this product. So far, the results have been good. Only one challenge which is coming is that when the corporate structure from which some of these companies want to deal, let's say they end up in Bahamas, they end up in Panama, they end up in Dubai, or one of the tax haven, and it becomes difficult to understand where these payments are coming. And we need to develop, I think, some kind of more stronger system so that we can detect these payments. We can block these transactions if they are not correct. And there, the timing is still going up to 3 to 4 days, which is, I would say, as an entrepreneur by myself, is not fine when I'm trying to do the legitimate payment. Because if I'm trying to pay my vendor in Dubai, there is nothing wrong about it. If I want to pay my vendor in BVI, there is nothing wrong about it. But because at Cashaa, where we are at a stage where we have to take regulation and all these regulatory compliance, especially when it comes to transaction monitoring, very seriously, we have to deal with this. So this is something which we have feel. Rest everything is fine. You, as a small company, having a limit of 250 million is not bad. You can receive payments from anywhere. You can pay it to anywhere. If you want to do a crypto transaction, you can check the prices which is listed on Cashaa for Bitcoin. I can 100% assure that most of these prices are better than Binance or Kraken in Europe. And this is something which is number, you can go and you can check. So there is no reason why you, as a small company, you have to go to different platforms when you are banking with us to do an exchange when it comes to crypto. So that's also makes our job easier, because we know that where the money is going and what you are doing and you are converting into that. So it's helpful for us to explain regulator when any question comes. So that's one of the main reason of the broker wallet. You are welcome to now register and start applying for broker business. If you are a small broker, if you are a small crypto business and you have been either rejected by Cashaa, you can apply again and you can take your chance with the broker account. So that's all with the broker account. Let's move on a second topic which we have is the Euro wallet. Currently, Cashaa is not a very, I will say, a personal account friendly company because we don't have any product which is very attractive to the personal users. The only thing which you can do with the personal account is to deposit Bitcoin, Ether, cash, 3 cryptocurrencies, and Euro, GBP, and INR. And then you can do the conversion or vice versa. Now, when you talk about just I would like to stop here, Fazbin. I think I cannot talk more about the price here. So one of the purpose, it's very clear that the AMA was defined for 3 reasons. When we will have an AMA talking about the price and exchange, we will only talk about that. So that's going back on the topic. So personal accounts are not very useful, I will say, if you already have an account with, let's say, for example, Kraken or any other exchange. It really doesn't make any sense if Cashaa is giving you the more or less the same product. Given because we have to go through a very strict transaction monitoring. Every transaction which comes also in our wallet, we have to take care of the same compliance and same regulation which we have to do when it happens on the banking transaction. So which makes it slower than it really makes it slower than our own customer who are using and giving you the crypto services. So I also not say, that's why one of the reason I don't promote the personal account by myself. But people who are using personal account or who already have an account with Cashaa, the news is that now you can do Europe funding. You can make a payment from any of the 33 countries in the SEPA zone, and you can purchase Bitcoin, or if you have a Bitcoin, you can sell them and get money directly into your bank account. So that's on the personal account. But one of the thing which Cashaa did in the personal account was adding an INR wallet. Now, this becomes interesting. The personal account, which is not very useful in Europe and UK, because GBP and Euro, and you have many different exchanges, wallet providers where you can go, you can swap your GBP fiat into Bitcoin or vice versa, maybe at much cheaper transaction cost than Cashaa. For you, it does not make any sense when you are dealing with Cashaa as a wallet. If you are a bank, if you are a business and you have a Cashaa banking account, in that case, it makes sense because it's all automated. Everything is like any other bank. So if you are using UK faster payment in UK, if you try to make a payment from, let's say, a banking wallet, a banking account which given by Cashaa to your HSBC, your faster payments goes almost the same second when you do the transaction. If you are using if you are a Swift transaction, for example, we did a lot of transaction between India and the UK, and it's a Swift transaction literally takes us 5 hours or the same day settlement. So if you are sending payment from India to our GBP wallet, it comes almost the same day. So I will be also not agree when people say that the cross-border transactions take 3 to 4 days, because it's not. It's almost the same day it's happening. We have experience by ourselves in our own account. You can try, if you have a Cashaa UK current account issued, you can try to make a Swift transfer and you will see that it's almost instant. But now let's going back on a personal accounts on India. When we talk about personal accounts in India, now there it becomes important, because in India, we don't have any exchange or any wallet which is giving you the services which Cashaa personal account can deliver. And what is this services? It's a very straightforward service. The same service that you can deposit INR and you can buy Bitcoin instantly. We also added this new feature on a personal account or overall account that when you are buying a crypto at Cashaa, let's say, for example, you are buying Bitcoin at Cashaa, you can, in your Cashaa wallet, you can configure that every time you make a purchase, your purchase go directly to BitMEX because you want to deal in futures or you want to take a leverage. Or if you have a Binance customer, you want these Bitcoins to deliver directly into your Binance account. Or if you are using a blockchain.info wallet and you like your, because you are very habitual and you want your Bitcoin into your Bitcoin wallet, or if you are using a Trezor and doing a systematic purchase at Cashaa, and you want your these crypto to go directly into your Trezor wallet, hardware wallet, you can configure that into your Cashaa, and every time when you make a purchase, your Bitcoin goes directly to one of these platforms. No second. And as you know that we don't charge any crypto withdrawal or deposit fee if the purchase is higher than zero point 0.1 BTC. In that case, Cash also consumes the cost of the network fee. So you don't have to pay 2 times network fee. You are always sure that every time you are making a purchase, your Bitcoins is at a Binance, available for trading. It's available for BitMEX for any leverage, or it's available in your Trezor wallet, safe and secure where you want, without doing a second transaction. So we have just made this feature live in Friday. I welcome all of you to go and test, do a small purchase, and you can test this. So that's it. Now coming back on an India side, because there is no exchange which is delivering these services, now Cashaa wallet for Indian consumers becomes very attractive. We also try to run a small coin market cap ad to see that what are the response. Although we didn't get a lot of slot from the coin market cap, but we have given them a free hand to, whenever they have an empty slot, they can run Cashaa ad, and we are very amazed with the sales there. The roughly balance with roughly transactions which we are doing is 30 to 50 Bitcoin a day in India, which is, I think, almost, if we combine the transaction of almost every exchange in India, any exchange which I think it's more than that. When it comes to Bitcoin and INR pair, obviously you can have maybe different pairs, Ether to BTC or USDT and blah, 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 all 20, 100 different or 100 different pairs. But we are talking about directly INR to straight going to Bitcoin, or Bitcoin straight going to INR. So these pair, certainly we think that it's a good, but we have also noticed that there are few traders who know, most of them might be here, they are doing a lot of transactions and they are buying all this and they are going to local peer-to-peer exchanges and taking the leverage of price advantage. So I think at Cashaa, we also just released a short article where we explained what are the problem Indian community is going through when it comes to Bitcoin purchase, and how as Cashaa we are solving. We have given the complete detail about this process. I'm just putting this link here, those who have not seen, because it just came a few minutes ago. So you can when you can go. And I think this is one of the most important factor that once we start marketing, because once we have a solid product also for a personal user, that becomes very important especially in a crypto space, because it opens a mass adoption. And in India, we feel that India is something which is going to grow in coming years. Things are started getting better in shape. People have started openly talking about it. So this is something also will impact directly the use of token, because if you say how we have planned, obviously a lot of Indian exchanges are now launching their own token, and they are planning to use these tokens in one or another way. While at Cashaa, we already have a token, we already have a utility created globally, and now in India, the utility is very clear. If you go to Cashaa India page, we have explained that how cash token will be used for a different plan to give you a different services. And given that right now there is no other competitor exists in India, it's a really good time for us to go into a very aggressive marketing and take as much as market share in India, to also have a better utility of cash token for the personal users before a personal account for banking comes to Europe or to UK users or the worldwide users. So that's where I think was my side of message which I had to give. And now I think we go through the questions, the people who have asked, and then if we finish that and still we have a time left, we can take some of the live questions. So I see a lot of few people have asked not to mention their names. So if you have any respect, any kind of request like this, we'll take care of this. So the first question is, when will trading cash be enabled on the Cashaa site. This feature has not been working for months. So this question is asked by Sub. So Sub, we are not a trading platform. We do have a wallet where we can sell Bitcoin, Ether, and cash, and then you can go vice versa from Ether to INR, GBP, and Euro, and Bitcoin to INR, GBP, and Euro. We don't have that for cash. It's also because of many regulatory reasons, like because cash we always promoted as a utility token, and as a utility token, this is something which our lawyers cannot define that how you can buy this utility token on your own platform. So that's one of the main regulatory reasons we cannot still allow to do that. However, once as the DEX integration has been in talk, once the DEX integration will be there, because then these conversions will be handled by DEX, and we will be more as a technology platform. This is something which will be possible to do both the side. But until the DEX integration is not there, the sell feature on cash will not be enabled. Second question is from Ajay Jain. Update all messages on mobile in Hindi. So yeah, definitely, Ajay. I will. Let's try to do this. Yes, अगर आप इधर आप ये ब्रॉडकास्ट सुन रहे हैं, तो मैं जरूर कोशिश करूंगा कि आगे से हमारे सारे मैसेजेस जो एटलीस्ट इंडियन यूजर्स के लिए हैं वो हिंदी में जाएं. Also, we will try to add more and more regional languages as we grow in India, but definitely we can start something with Hindi very soon, maybe probably next week. Okay, third question is from Lizzie. When will Cashaa begin integration of more top 100 coins? So Lizzie, because we are not an exchange, we cannot just keep adding new coins, but I do understand your concerns, and we are very forward looking to add some of the really good cryptocurrencies which is there in next quarter. Once the centralized wallet, as we also talked that as a Cashaa, when we started, we didn't start it as a centralized wallet, we started as a decentralized wallet, and that decentralized wallet is something we have to accept, that if we want to cater to a customer who is of a grandma style, or his knowledge is of a grandma style, and that's what we want to do, we cannot just push directly decentralization on my grandma. We have to go take a little step back and have something centralized which user can use more easily. It's also for a support to explain them more easily. So I think that's what is under development, and I think by March we will have a new centralized platform for that. And once it is done, we have selected 3 cryptocurrencies: Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, which will be added to our wallet. So you can directly from GBP, Euro, INR, you can go into any of these 6 cryptocurrency which will be available on the platform, or the vice versa. Okay. Next question from Maverick. When will Cashaa support other altcoins? I think it's the same question I already answered. The next question is from Chow. How the handling of the hacked coin going? The hacked of we already have all the requests, and I think the team will start working from in this coming week to go through all the case by case. If you have already reported that, we will ask you more evidence, and if your coin has not been exchanged by the hacker, or you can provide the enough proof that you were the owner of the tokens which was hacked, or you lost the coin, lost the key, and 10 different regions, because I'm sure those reports have a lot of funny stories to read about how people lost their tokens or got hacked. But once it is proved, we will deal it on case by case basis, and by March we will complete all the distribution. Why it is so? We have another question from NGO Hong Trung. Why is it called Cashaa? Is it special? So the people who don't know Cashaa, we started in 2016 as a money transfer platform, transferring cash to Africa and Asia. And that's where the name came. From 2016 till our since we went into as a crypto-friendly banking provider in 2019, that was the main operations of Cashaa. And that's why the name is called Cashaa, cash to Asia and Africa. So next question is from Thao. One of the biggest problem with the DApp is the inactive and useless state. People only create DApp, but it has no use case or contribution to the blockchain ecosystem. To prevent and resolve this problem that may occur on the Cashaa platform, what will your team do? Okay, so Thao, one of the things which that's where the education come into the picture. Cashaa is not a DApp. However, I accept 100% your grievance here that the crypto industry is full of useless DApp. I also believe, I think 99% of DApp and projects which is being just made also doesn't make any sense to me. And that's what's the result of that. You don't have a mass adoption of that product. Because one of the also reason comes that because of this decentralization, obviously we want to have open innovation and everything. But like any other entrepreneur, any other industry, I think some of the entrepreneurs, we forget about the problem we are solving. We try to come up with a solution and then try to find a problem for that. And that's something is very common, happens in blockchain and in the dApps, where innovators come up with a solution and then try to find a problem for that solution. While at Cashaa, our problem statement is very simple. We want to create a bank which will able to cater to the needs of the new generation. Obviously, it's something very forward-looking statement, but at the present, we are trying to solve one very simple problem of crypto industry, of where the banks are denying bank account to crypto or blockchain industry. And that is what the problem we are solving today. For tomorrow, we want to become a global platform to have one platform for all different kind of new and old money system. So next question is again from Quinn. Considering that Cashaa is a token for banking, financial institution, blah, blah, blah. It's again the same similar kind of question. It's the same answer which I just gave. So let's move. I have been away from internet connection. I just found that I might lost my Cashaa token since I did not swap them on time. How could I still swap them, or how can I get them back? So this question is from Marlon. It's very unfortunate to know that, Marlon, that you have missed the swap, but not to be worried about, because you are away from internet, I think, more than 7 months. So nothing to be worried about. Still, you can send your token to the swap address. Only difference is that now we are not doing the swap distribution regularly, but now the next distribution will happen on 13th of January 2021. So you have now a long enough time to send that tokens to your swap address, and then on 13th of January, the distribution will happen. Next question. From Nyong, the main reason why you don't open a bank account. So this is a question about why we don't accept Monero or any private currency operator company to give them the bank account. This is something which goes more aggressively on the policies. But the good news is, Yang, that now we have started opening up for that. Definitely, when we started, we had more different kind of risk, and we wanted to decrease our risk from more and more so we can serve more and more customers and companies better. But now, because we feel that we are educated enough, our compliance team have enough strength to deal with this kind of problem, you can definitely apply for a bank, for an account in GBP or Euro, so UK current account or Euro current account, even if you are managing privacy coins. In UK current account, we have created a very special plan for the companies dealing with privacy coin called Ultra. So you have to apply for the Ultra UK current account if you are dealing in privacy coins. But now we are accepting the companies who are dealing in privacy coin. So next question is from Josh. When will the US account be open? Josh, currently I don't have a fixed answer by date when the US current account will be opened. We are trying to see what we can do, but with all these different regulation changes and with the small team we have, how many customers we can handle, definitely looks like that the entire operations team, including me, our attention is very much now into marketing the UK current account. Our Euro current account is going live this month. So there are already two big products with a lot of customer base to cater. Our broker account is already live and we started accepting applications on that. So these three main products obviously keeping the team quite busy. I don't have a time on a US current account, but because we have a capability to issue US current accounts with our partners. If you are looking to apply, looking for a US current account, you can apply for that, and we can definitely provide you. But we are something the US current account which we are not marketing right of now. But if any of our customer need it, we are very happy to provide that. So next question is okay, mostly the same question. Sorry guys, I'm just missing because like we already crossed more than what? No, we are still half an hour, so we are doing good. Still a lot of questions, but okay. So next question is from Paul from US. It says, as of now, how many cash tokens have been purchased? Okay, this is something, Paul, which is a technical question. So I don't have answers in handy for that. So I take your second because I see there is one more question you have. Can you provide an update on the status of finding another banking partner in the US because Metropolitan Bank is simply too slow? Yes, Paul, we already have another banking partner. I cannot disclose the name at the moment, and that's why I mentioned that if any of our existing customer is looking for a US current account, we can certainly help them. But given that all the new products which we have launched, and given that 2020 is also the year when we have promised that we're going to give personal accounts, when I say personal account, not the personal wallet, but the personal, let's say, better than a bank account, where users can do FPS, SEPA, they can receive payments, all those things which they do with the existing bank, along with the crypto. I think 2020 will be more focused on UK Euro business account with the personal account. Obviously, in between, we will have a spare capacity to again go into the US side and start grabbing some of the US businesses. We will certainly do that. So next question is from Frank from Africa. Frank don't have a question. Frank have a complaint. So far, Africa is badly served with regards to Cashaa. Second, being in African, I would. So this is a question. So first, to answer first question, Frank, and thank you so much for asking this question. Definitely, when Cashaa started, we were very much operative in Nigeria. We were very much operative in South Africa because that were some of the very active market to move money. So I do understand your expectations again back from Cashaa to help the African community when it comes to, but certainly because the different, I would say not different, but the focus which company had to banking the unbacked companies, and because the UK and Europe is quite a big market, and even those companies who are operating in US or companies who are operating in Canada or in Australia or in India, there are a lot of companies, they are actually situated in Europe. For example, you take an example of Binance based in Malta, your other favorite cryptocurrency, Huboi or OKX. You see, most of these big names, they are based in Europe. The reason because the Europe is quite still because of the privacy laws and different laws, it makes really for businesses a better place than any other country. And because we are dealing a lot of business with businesses, For us, the team is quite occupied with the European and UK businesses. So that's one of the reasons we are not able to focus on Africa. But certainly something this is which I personally like to do, and will looking our best to do something, maybe have some kind of partnership where we can roll out some product in a partnership to help to give our capabilities to the another partner to serve the African community more better. So please keep asking this question, keep pushing me for the Africa, and I love to come up with more innovative ideas or something which can help to African countries. As your second question, I'll take because this was not the question. Being in Africa, I would like Cashaa to give us the possibility to making deposit into our Cashaa account. So okay, so I think this is something which everyone need to know who is not in UK, Europe, or in India. We do accept payments through the Swift. So if you are out of these countries, you can certainly make a Swift payment to your wallet. One thing which I can do, because on the frank request, we can try to reduce all the transaction fees which is coming from the African countries to fund the Cashaa wallet. I will talk to team and make sure that this no transaction fee for the African countries when they are making their deposit in the GBP, because they have to pay. I can understand that they have to pay also a lot of fees to the banks to do an international wire. So certainly on a Cashaa side, we will try to reduce all the costs so that you can make funds without losing or at least paying anything to the Cashaa. So that's something which is possible. And certainly this thing for the African countries will be implemented by next week. Okay, and now let's, I think most of the questions are again repeating. So there is one question from Jonas. Is my question about broker account is how long you've been be a Forex broker? So I think Jonas, this question, I think you misunderstood the entire broker account. The broker account is not about a Forex account, but it's a crypto broker account. So if you are a small wallet for businesses, crypto businesses to continue their businesses without having need of an actual account. Okay. So there is another question which I see also here coming from Firebird Central. Why? But it's also in the Excel sheet. Why? What is the likelihood of Cashaa getting its own license, banking license? Estimated timing of this? What would be the jurisdiction? UK, Euro, US, globally? What is your overall vision on this? I think the same question which is coming also in chat. So we are estimating the time roughly by June, July 2020. Second, likelihood, we are 99% sure. There is no reason for us at this stage to not have that. And even if we don't have, we are more or less delivering on our vision and mission without having that. The reason now to have it to certainly reduce the cost more so that we don't have to share our revenues with the banking partner. So this is not something which we are doing is because it's something that stopped us. This is something which we are doing so that we can pass more and more benefit to the community, to our business customers, to our individual customers to have a better and cheaper product. And that's only possible if we're able to reduce the cost. And acquiring this license is one of those strategies. It's something which is not essential for Cashaa to launch the product. So yeah, sure. So let's go to the next question. Why is Cashaa selling from fees on Binance DEX? I think, Josh, I don't quite understood this question. So I'll take a pass on this. If you are here, please, if you can explain me this, I would love to take this question. Another question is that I accidentally moved some of my cash token to spendable cash. Okay, if you have send your cash token to spendable cash, people who don't know what is a spendable cash is a special feature in your Cashaa wallet where you can fund your cash tokens to pay for the transaction fees, onboarding fees, exchange fees, or any kind of fees which you want to pay to the Cashaa platform. To know why you should do this, because if you are paying your fees, for example, an exchange fee through uh, the cash, you can get up to 20% discount. If you are a business, you can go up to 75% discount. So all these features you can access with the lower cost if you have a balance in your spendable cash, not into your Cashaa wallet. Why? Because Cashaa wallet is a decentralized wallet. We cannot charge you fees, something which where the tokens are held by you. That's why it's very important when you want to pay your fees, please move your cash to the spendable cash. Now, coming back on this question, if you have accidentally moved this, please raise a help desk request and try to talk with the help desk that to sort this out. Definitely, we've never had this kind of case before, so it might take some time, but this is something which can be sorted out. What are the, okay. DeFi is one of the hottest topic in the blockchain space right now. I think it's talking about decentralized finance. Can you share? I personally agree with decentralization finance. I believe that identity and finance something could be controlled by the user itself. We don't need a middleman to do that. But certainly there is a lot of regulation and different things required. It's quite not still possible. But as you are asking my view, I think we believe in decentralization completely. That's why Cashaa wallet is a complete decentralized wallet where as Cashaa, we don't take controls of your crypto. Definitely, we are coming through challenges with that, but I accept and agree that decentralized finance is something which is a future and we are heading towards it. Okay, so the next question is bank and crypto are known enemies for each other since the inception of Bitcoin. I must say that I was going through thoroughly perplexed seeing the London-based banking platform willing to offer assistance to people and businesses in need of a crypto-friendly service. Okay, this is a funny question. I think you all have to read it. So I just copy and paste this. I don't know how to send. Okay, so I can send because this is such a big. Okay, let me. So before I answer, we all can laugh about this question. Okay. Oh, so there's a lot of limitations. Okay. So the funny part is here. Okay. So the question continues. Hope this is not a plot between government and bank to get hold of we crypto trader holder. We need to be very sure of this before we can feel safe about Cashaa for our crypto related activities. So this question was asked by whom? I'm sure you are here, Jim Zimon. So the only answer I can give that no, this is not a plot between government and banks. Cashaa is not either funded by any government or any bank. It's a project which is started by Cashaa and supported by community. So you don't have to think that Cashaa is trying to hold on a community and trying to plot against the crypto trader, because I'm also a crypto trader and I'm telling this on a YouTube live. So all the government and banks can understand that I'm not with them, I'm with the community and the crypto community. And that's why our projects and our products are not about something is going to come in future, but to solve today's crypto industry problem so we can leapfrog to the future. So moving to the next question. I see Cashaa very good. I want to ask what has been achieved till now, end of the year, and what will be. I think this this question, this is very simple question. I would suggest you to read the last AMA, and also you can watch this video and everything. I think the website pretty itself explain that what we able to achieve. We are a crypto-friendly banking service provider. Currently, we are providing banking services in GBP. Our Euro banking service is coming live this week. This month, probably this week. And personal accounts are also going live this year. So that's summarize what Cashaa is. So next question is which countries is, so last two questions, guys. So if you have any questions, you can please start putting so I can start taking live questions from the live chat. So which countries is Cashaa focusing to grow on? So treat this Cashaa, we are trying to focus on the crypto community, irrespective of which country your business and a user is based. It's more about, because when we are talking about decentralized finance, it's really goes beyond the country's border. Bitcoin or any crypto doesn't simply recognize any border. While because Cashaa is also a banking service provider, we have to have somewhere a banking services from some of the central banks approved. And that's where the Europe and UK come into the picture. But as a customer, we are free to accept customer from any geography. What role do you think the Cashaa will take in order to make crypto space and blockchain better, also more worldwide known? Is there any adoption or some upcoming great plans? I think our role is very clear in what we are trying to achieve in a crypto industry. Today, we are trying to bank those crypto businesses who are unbanked. Second, we are trying to create an open banking platform where not only the existing currencies can sustain, but also the future currencies, the future cryptocurrencies, or a nationalized cryptocurrency built on the blockchain, all can be integrated into one banking platform. So the customer don't have to do this to and fro to use your HSBC, then use your exchange account, and then move money around. You don't have to do all of these things. You can have one banking provider where you can do all of these activity which you have done through the old money, let's say, and as well as the new money. So that's all for the questions from the people who have asked questions in advance. Thank you so much for asking all of these questions. I think now it's time we take some of the live questions. So we still have 8 minutes left, guys. So you can start asking as many as live questions. So let me see if I can. So Max asks, what about the UK faster payment? Is it instant or not? Max, the UK faster payment, if you are using our banking service, is instant. You can make the payment straightforward. If you are receiving payment from HSBC, I'm taking HSBC as an example. Please don't, I'm not endorsing HSBC or I'm telling any relationship with HSBC. But if you have an account with HSBC or Barclays and you are making payment to Cashaa UK current account, it will be instant. If you are doing other ways around, that's also instant. The next question is from Praveen Kumar. Can we buy direct from Indian bank? Yes, Praveen, you can do deposit and withdrawals directly from the Indian bank. We have shared an article explaining like 1.5 hours ago that why Cashaa is the safest, quickest, and a provider which you can rely when it comes to liquidity. Please go through the article and it explains you step by step what we are doing in India. Next question, moving to banking license, already answered. Okay, most investors, okay. That's fun. Okay, there is another good question. Can you talk about the SWOT analysis of your project? What are your strengths and weaknesses? How do you plan converting your weaknesses into strength and face your threat for more opportunity? I think this is very good question. Well, okay, let's go to the strength. So what is the Cashaa strength? So Cashaa strength today in a crypto industry is that we are a crypto-friendly banking service provider. Against all the odds which crypto industry have to go through, we came as a silver line where we are openly saying as a banking service provider that we are the correct provider if you are looking for banking solution for your crypto project. So that's our strength. Second strength, that we able to convince our banking partner way in advance when all this chaos is happening in India. RBI said no, we cannot ban. In Africa, this morning news came that most of the banks in South Africa are doing the same. So the things which started happening in West, or let's say in UK, US, much earlier, 3 or 4 years ago, now started to happening into, let's say, another part of the world. But the problem remains same everywhere in the world. Be it South Africa, or be it India, be it Europe. Definitely, because the problem was much earlier in Europe, we able to now come up to a stage where we can have a solution. That second strength which we have is that because we are one of the pioneer coming into openly saying crypto-friendly banking service provider, we have seen hundreds and hundreds of applications who have gone through us, and we able to see what are the main reasons some of these companies have to not get the bank account. That put Cashaa in a position of a competitive advantage from the data point of view. So if we can, so that we can make a correct market fit product for the specific crypto industry segment. Because when we go into the crypto business, there are different kind of crypto businesses. Might one product doesn't work for all of this, and we able to do this because of all the data which we have collected in last 6 to 7 months. And broker account was one of the account which we launched because of the data which we have. So Cashaa certainly have 3 competitive advantage. One from the regulation side, second, first to bank and first to launch, and third, having a live customers already using the product. And some of them are a lot of your favorite coins which you are using, a lot of your favorite companies which you are using for different purposes. So that's our strength. Weakness, one of the biggest weakness which Cashaa have is that we cannot use the same marketing trick which 99.9%, or I will say 99.999% crypto company uses in this space, because of the lack of regulation in this space. Now, because Cashaa is trying to provide a service which is not regulated, but very heavily regulated, very tightly regulated, we just cannot do that simply. Which puts us into the weaker position from the marketing point of view, that what we can say, how much we can say, what we can do when it comes to token, when it comes to exchanges. And that's where we go into the weakness. So the marketing, mostly I would say the marketing, something not having the same playing field like other crypto projects for us, is go into our weakness. Second, because we are providing a service which is very delicate, because what these services are doing, if you try to understand the impact, if Cashaa onboard one wrong customer, let's say wrong crypto business, whose purpose was to launder money and do the terrorist financing, which somehow became equally criminal in that worst act of where people are getting killed, or people are transferring money for illicit purposes. And that's something which we cannot let it happen. That's something which which my soul cannot accept. And I'm sure a lot of people can also agree with this. And because of this we have to go very slow when it comes to the operation. And that goes more or less as a second weakness of us, that we cannot just go and market very left and right and go and onboard every second company which comes to us. So these are the 2 weaknesses also we have. How we are planning to convert these weaknesses into strength. So as I said, that as we are first to market, we are collecting all this data on the operational side, and we are saying that how we can fix our operational challenges so that we can have faster onboarding, we can understand what is the actual motive behind the project, which bank, which customer is a real genuine player, which is not. So there are a lot of things which we can automate from our learning, from our weakness data which we are collecting, to always stay ahead in the game when you have more and more competition kicking into the similar space. So Kuldeep Nehra is asking, is buying BTC with INR from your platform is legal? So Kuldeep, I have to clear this you first, that crypto was never been illegal in India. Obviously there was a misguide which was happened, which was done by media by quoting it that crypto is illegal. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. But crypto was never been illegal, or crypto was never been banned in India. And this is something, a statement given by Reserve Bank of India, central bank, in the Supreme Court of India, in front of all the jury, that crypto is neither illegal, neither banned. Only what central bank have done, that central bank have requested all the participant into the banking to not provide banking services. Again, because of the same reason of AML and money laundering and different problem, different specific problem which India have when it comes to moving money around. But it never said it's legal, it's illegal. So I think this question is now need to be a little changed. But now coming to your answer, that yes, buying BTC with INR is legal, not only from us, but any platform in India. So I think now we are done with these questions. If you guys, if you still have a question, we are over the time of 1 minute. This is great. I think doing something in within a time was great, and I'm happy about. So we have a last question we are taking, or we can take last two questions. One question already came from Chetz, one of our oldest follower and fan from India. So I have to definitely take, even if I'm above the time, and I can take still one more question. So if anyone want to have, please ask. Have we recruited more professional to speed up the onboarding businesses? How many businesses were onboarded in January? Very good question. So Chit, yes, we have onboarded 2 more professionals to speed up the onboarding. Obviously, the training and the same sanitization problem, the sanitization issue have to go through. So all these new recruits have to go through the same process to understand how sensitive is what they are doing. They have to understand the banking. They have to understand the crypto world. They have to understand all the new regulation which is coming up. And then only they can be put into the field to start onboarding. Again, just because I understand your concern is about onboarding, but these professionals will able to help more and more companies to sort their paperwork. But again, the challenge remains when it goes to the regulator side, where the compliance team, and it's not something very easy to hire more and more compliance people who are putting their signature every time a bank account get approved. And that's simply because of all the risk which I tell, because if anything goes wrong, this person is the first person after me who will be screwed up or maybe ending up in jail. We will prove later that why this happened. But so that's why finding these kind of people are really very difficult. It's not something which is very easy. So we are trying to see that how we can manage. And one of the way was to do that, having as many as parallel companies to do that, so that we can outsource some of these work. Last part of your question, that how many businesses we have onboarded in January. In January total, we have onboarded 13 businesses. 13, I think, if I include, 13 businesses. I'm not adding the today numbers. If I add today's number, it will be 16, because luckily we able to onboard 3 businesses in one day. So I'm really happy about that, but that's not counted in January. One last question, but sir, on transfer money from my bank to your platform, do my bank ban my account? Kuldeep, as you know that one of the person also asked here a question that bank and crypto has always been enemy, and since the formation of this. So this is a question which you have to ask your own bank. Because individuals can act on different thing and they can have always a different reasoning. So I cannot answer you this, but to answer your concern, that if you are following the process how it is described on Cashaa platform, your bank account will not be banned. But you do have to follow the steps how we are doing it, because what we have done in India, that we have created an isolation between a direct crypto company and you, so that you are not dealing directly with the crypto companies, but you are dealing directly with our agents local who are qualified to do the transaction processing. So you are dealing with them, and then the money is coming to us. So which means as a user, you are not dealing directly. So that's a kind of layer we have created to protect our users in India. So next question we have is from Vikram. Where are your banking? So all our regulators, they are based currently in UK. The Euro account which we are launching is with the regulators in Lithuania. But the whole set of license which we are targeting to receive in July will be from UK and from the Ireland. Okay, so I think that's all, guys. Thank you so much for joining this first YouTube AMA. Hope to see more and more participation in coming weeks. And because this is on YouTube, we don't have to publish another YouTube video. You can just join directly and you can see it whenever you have time. We know that we have a lot of supporters in Australia, which is right now sleeping. So I think this is a really good also for them. So whenever they have wake up, they can watch and have an update about what's happening in Cashaa. So again, thank you so much. For all the Indian users, I would say that give a try to Cashaa. Don't be afraid. We know what we are doing. It's not the first thing which we are doing. We are one of the most, when it comes to banking, we are one of the experts. So if you are following all the terms and conditions, how it is happening, I don't see any problem for you when you are dealing with Cashaa in India. So having said all that, thank you so much and have a good evening, good night, good morning all over the world. Thank you so much.